Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to yet another benchmarking video. Now this is the same PC as last time in that this is one of our mid-tier gaming PCs, and the components inside the PC are not that different other than the fact that we are swapping out GPUs. So we are still using the Ryzen 5 5500, which is a 6-core 12-thread CPU, paired up with 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM, paired up with a 512 NVMe SSD, and for the GPU we are going with the RTX NVIDIA 3060 that has 12 gigs of VRAM. So without wasting any time, let's jump straight into the benchmark and see how this PC will perform. Okay, so now we're in Forza Horizon, and yeah, let me I don't know why I pressed start, but these are the settings that I'm rocking here. As you can see, rocking the game at 1920 by 1080, but everything is mostly actually set to high. I even have ray tracing turned on because again we have 12 gigabytes of VRAM, and you know, in the ray tracing department NVIDIA always was ahead of AMD, so we get to enjoy the benefits of ray tracing while still maintaining a very playable frame rate. As you can see, with everything turned on, even with ray tracing, right? That damaged my car so bad. I wonder, is rewinding in this game considered cheating if it's a feature of the game? But I do have ray tracing on, so oh my lord, as you can see, the reflections are looking pristine. The environment is looking nice, and I mean, we're not getting above 100, or rather I've not even seen 100 FPS mark here, but to be fair, I am way above 60 FPS, so this is quite smooth and honestly quite playable. So, you know, this is a very enjoyable experience with the RTX 3060 paired up with the 5500. So this mid-tier PC will definitely give you a decent playable experience. And I think the theme here with the RTX 3060 is that because of the added VRAM that we have, we get to sacrifice less of the image quality while still maintaining the, you know, kind of the same performance that the RX 6600 gave us. So the 3060 with 12 gigabytes of VRAM is offering that opportunity to us right now. Okay, so now we're in Resident Evil 4, the remake, and I'm pretty much running a lot of the things high. Apart from this one, I did not run. I mean, like on this setting, if I put it above 4 GB, it gives me that warning, so that's why I'm just leaving it at 4. As you can see, most of the things are pretty much set to high, and now I can't necessarily say that this game favors an AMD. I mean, yeah, we did see some kind of favorism when I was doing the GTX 1660 versus the 5600. But I mean, in this case, to be fair, I am running the game with a little bit more challenging settings. So I would say that 3060 here is doing more than, you know, more than enough to keep good, on rather to keep a smooth gameplay. So I'm getting some stutters. I don't know if those stutters are because I'm running the game from an SSD, external SSD. I honestly wouldn't know, but I think now that we are on the inside, we have stabilized above 60 FPS. And again, I am running the game with high settings compared to the RX 6600, just because of the mere fact that I have more VRAM with the RTX 3060. So yeah. Okay. And you know, this is a pretty smooth experience. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm feeling like this game is a bit laggy. So the RTX 3060 in Resident Evil, and by the way, I'm not running anything. I'm not running FSR. I'm not running any kind of upscaling technology or frame generation technology. So this is a pretty playable experience with considerably heavier settings with considerably heavier settings compared with the RX 600. So yeah, these are pretty weird games. So anyway, this was the RTX 3060 in Resident Evil 4, the remake. Okay, so now I'm in Cyberpunk 2077, and I'm running more of a medium preset with the DLSS set to balanced, and I do have ray tracing turned off, because turning on ray tracing was really impacting the performance, and I overall did not feel like it was worth turning on for me. So I feel like the game is best playable with this kind of a system configuration with medium settings, and you basically have ray tracing turned off. And for the most part, I am staying above 60 FPS, so I would consider this a pretty playable experience. Now, as you did see in the last video, Cyberpunk is very CPU intensive, and as you can see, my CPU usage is even higher than my GPU usage, which is kind of ridiculous. But next time when I'm benchmarking, I'll probably use a 5600X, and it's going to be interesting to see how the 5600X will perform with an RTX 3060. So there is some fight going on here. I'm trying to, these guys are fighting. I don't know what's up with that, but the opening section of the game is as heavy as ever, and as you can see, sometimes I am dipping into the high 50s. I did dip there into 40s. So yeah, this game is pretty challenging, and I think here we are running, or rather we are hitting a wall in that we are more CPU bound than GPU bound. So yeah, definitely I feel like I would be getting higher performance if we are mostly not CPU bound. So but this is a unique case with Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is a very CPU bound game, and can clearly see its CPU boundness in this benchmark. So let me just get out of the car and see. I think walking on foot, you're obviously going to get a better performance, since when you're driving, you are streaming in a lot of data, or rather you're going past so much geometry. So yeah, this is a pretty good experience. This is a pretty good and playable experience. So yeah, this has been the RTX 3060 paired up with a 5500 in Cyberpunk. Okay, so I'm now in Apex Legends, and as you can see, I'm pretty much running everything at max settings. I mean, this is at ultra cores. I have a 12 GB graphics card. The RTX 3060 that I'm using has 12 gigs, and I think I usually turn this off. Actually, not this. I usually turn these two off because they tend to add shadows and sometimes mask visibility, which is something that you don't want in a competitive shooter like Apex Legends. You want to make sure that you're seeing your enemies. So I'm turning it more for not for performance reasons, but for visibility reasons. And we have some nice GPU usage, and again, Apex is a very CPU bound game, so it's like Cyberpunk. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is probably I need to find a fight, because that's where these systems are usually stressed. When there's a fight, there's so much going on. Actually forgot that I'm this guy. I can run. But for the most part, as you can see, I am staying above the 100 FPS mark, so I'll consider this a pretty smooth and playable experience. I just need to find a fight. You know what? Let me go find a fight, and then I'll resume there. Oh! Oh! I can't even talk. This game is so intense. No! Come on. I can't even talk while recording. This game gets so intense. Oh my god. Anyway, this was Apex Legends. As you can pretty much see, the RTX 3060 is more than capable of running this game. Okay, so now we're in Grand Theft Auto 5, and let's take a look at the settings that I'm rocking this game at. And for the most part, I did turn a few things here to high, because the minute it detected the RTX 3060, it decided to run the game at ultra, everything maximum, and the frame rate was dipping, or rather the frame rate was tanking heavily. But these are considerably high settings compared to the RX 6600. And again, this is one of those situations where, you know, that shows you how important VRAM is when it comes to gaming, and, you know, even just the resolution. So, you know, I am getting above a 60 FPS experience, but, you know, this is a point that I said in Forza Horizon, where, you know, we are not giving up the visual quality of the game because we do have VRAM that allows us to run the game at very, you know, considerably high settings. So we're getting a very optimal viewing experience in that, you know, our game looks beautiful, our textures look nice, we're running at considerably high settings. So I'll say this is a worthy compromise, and for the most part we are sticking above 60 FPS, so this is a smooth and playable experience. So yeah, I don't know about you guys, but how did I even end up here? I feel like I was somewhere more busy. This place is so windy and hilly. I'll try and get down this mountain here. Okay, there was an ambulance passing by and the audio, I'm sure, would have been messed up. But I was saying, for the most part, even in like highly populated area like this one, I mean, the RTX 3060 is still able to keep up with this game, and, you know, it's kind of surprising that this game is still, for a game that released in 2013, this is honestly crazy that this game is so difficult to run. As you can see, sometimes I'm dipping into the high 50s, but for the most part I am staying above 60 FPS. So yeah, this has been the 3060, or rather the RTX 3060 in Grand Theft Auto 5. Okay, so now I'm in Call of Duty Warzone, and not gonna lie, this game is giving me actual issues in that ever since the update, because I tested the RX 6600 before they updated the game to Black Ops 6. And yeah, I feel like this game's visual settings are busted in that right now I'm running everything at low because that's the only way I can crack 60 FPS. Even if I turn on DLSS, I don't think, like, DLSS doesn't seem to be kicking in. I don't know why. I honestly cannot explain why, but I feel like this game has graphical issues that they need to fix, because some of these things are obviously not working. Okay, so let's do what? Let's turn on DLSS, right? Let's uncheck dynamic resolution. So right now we are playing with DLSS. Okay, the image definitely looks sharper, but it looks kind of DLSS-ish. And I mean, for the most part, I am staying above 60, yes, with DLSS. But I don't know. I still feel like I still feel like DLSS is not turned on. I mean, yes, I can see it. But I think this game is visually busted, and it might take a couple of updates to fix it, because this is an issue not only with this system right now, but with even my rig back home. I've noticed a significantly lower performance after the new update. So I feel like that is what is affecting this game right now. So I don't feel like this is a fair comparison, since I was benchmarking a different version of the game with the RX 6600. So I'm lagging so much. So yeah, I honestly, I can't draw any conclusion here, but for the most part, I think we have to wait for Warzone to be patched and fixed, because this game is a buggy mess right now. So yeah. Okay, so now I'm in Elden Ring, a very popular Souls-like, and as you can see from my settings here, I'm running the game pretty much at everything at high. And again, I need to remind you that this game has an in-engine frame rate cap, so this game cannot go above 60 FPS. And for the most part, this is a pretty playable experience. I can't honestly complain. So, you know, let's get into a fight and kill this guy, man. All right. Hey dude, why would you jump like that? Alright, I am gonna die right now. Having watched a lot of Digital Foundry videos and just in general, I know that this game has traversal status, and this game has not really been that properly optimized for PC. So I don't think the 3060 here will save us from just the game not being properly optimized for PC. But as you can see, for the most part, this is a playable experience. I wouldn't say that I'm not having fun, or I feel like I can't play this game using the RTX 3060 here. But there is some obvious lack of smoothness. So this is a case where I say it's not in the hardware's fault, but in more of the the game itself being poorly optimized for PC. Right. These things are big. So yeah, this has been okay. I don't know where. Anyway, this was the RTX 3060 in Elden Ring. Hopefully that video was informative and educative. And if you did enjoy this video, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. And if you're in my country locally, which is Kenya, and you're interested in purchasing this PC, be sure to visit our shop, which is located at Old Mutual Building, Kimathi Street, room 45 on the 4th floor of the building. Additionally, you can go through our website, which is esgaming.co.ke.